Everything you've been told about fixing yourself is wrong. You're constantly told that if you optimize your habits, force yourself into positive thinking, or execute the perfect routine, and your life will finally change. So you do the work, you buy the journals, you track the metrics, and yet the exact same internal friction silently repeats. The problem isn't that you are failing the system. The problem is that you're applying a system to a wrong version of yourself. You're trying to repair a deep, structural, foundational collapse by merely repainting the surface. Ancient Vedic psychology didn't view the human beings as a single, flat entity. They mapped our cognitive architecture into 5 distinct, nested layers called koshas. Think of them as an intricate biological code running your reality. If a severe mechanical malfunction happens deep down on layer 2, no amount of superficial optimization on layer 1 can ever fix it. Yet, 99% of modern high performers spend their entire lives completely trapped on the outermost layer, totally blind to the 4 hidden operating systems running underneath. Today, we are cracking open the source code. Let's dig in. The outermost layer is called the Annamaya Kosha, or the food body. This is your physical vessel, built entirely from what you consume, shaped by how you move. Now, here is the trap. Most people believe their physical body is just a tool to carry their mind around. They treat it like a machine to be driven, caffeinated, and forced into productivity. But your body isn't a machine, it's more like a dashboard. When you feel sudden brain fog, localized physical tension, or an unexplained drop in drive, that isn't a mechanical failure of layer 1. That is a biological notification flashing from deeper layers underneath. You cannot biohack your way out of a deeper emotional misalignment. To work with this layer consciously, you must stop trying to constantly optimize it and start auditing it. This week, implement a 5-minute freeze. The moment you finish a meal or the moment you step away from your desk, pause. Listen to the somatic feedback. What is your body trying to tell you that your mind keeps aggressively ignoring? Because if you don't listen to the whisper of layer 1, the system will force you to feel the scream of layer 2. Layer 2 is called the Pranamaya Kosha, or the energy blueprint. Beneath the flesh sits Pranamaya Kosha, the energy body. This layer is fueled by your breath, your vital life force, and the exact state of your autonomic nervous system. This is the precise reason traditional mindset tools fail you. If your nervous system is trapped in a chronic, low-grade, fight-or-flight survival loop, your brain structurally cannot access creative problem solving. You cannot think your way out of a dysregulated nervous system. Have you ever noticed how a minor problem feels like a catastrophe when you're exhausted, but completely manageable when you're well rested? The external reality didn't change. The mind didn't change. Your energy blueprint did. To master this layer, you must build an energetic firebreak before you make major moves. Before any high-stake decision, any critical conversation, or any deep creative work, regulate the blueprint first. 4 seconds in, 4 seconds out for just 60 seconds. This is not a generic breathing exercise. This is you manually resetting your neural voltage before you act from the chaotic surface. Most people make their biggest life decisions from a completely drained energy body and then wonder why their choices yield the same toxic patterns. But do not mistake your energy for your thoughts. To understand what is actually directing that energy, we have to drop into the master controller. This is the domain where most of humanity lives and dies, the Manomaya Kosha, or the mental body. This layer consists of your daily thoughts, emotions, automatic reactions, and the narrative loops you endlessly tell yourself. Every therapy session, every journaling prompt, and every mindset course operates at this level. But here is the critical limitation nobody tells you. You cannot solve a layer 2 problem with a layer 3 tool. If your energy body is fundamentally dysregulated, no amount of forced positive thinking or daily affirmations will fix it. The mind will always fabricate a dark story to match a stressed nervous system. To work with this layer consciously, you must learn to identify the hidden script underneath the passing thought. Stop merely saying, "I feel incredibly anxious today." This is just the surface symptom. Look deeper. Ask yourself, what must I subconsciously believe about myself right now to make this anxiety logical? The automatic thought is just the reaction. The core belief running silently in the background is the actual programming. Introspection works here, but only if you have the courage to ask the right kind of questions to destabilize your current identity. Because until you look at the one who is writing the script, you're just an actor trapped in a play you didn't write. Which begs the question, who is actually watching the play? Which brings us to layer number 4, Vijnanamaya Kosha. The deeper still is Vijnanamaya Kosha, or the wisdom body. This is not intellect. This is not book smart logic. This is your higher capacity to actively witness your own thoughts, rather than blindly identifying as them. Most people are entirely trapped in layer 3. They believe they are their thoughts. If a negative thought arises, they suffer. But the wisdom body is the part of you that observes the thought. It is the silent awareness that knows a thought is passing through, just like a cloud passing through an infinite sky. Developing this layer is the single factor that separates an impulse, emotional reaction from an intentional, conscious choice. It is the birth of true psychological freedom. To actively activate the wisdom body, you must practice 1 second pause. The next time external chaos hits you, whether it's a frustrating email, a setback, or an internal wave of fear, freeze for 1 single second. Do not think about what to do. Do not plan your response. Simply notice that you are about to react. That tiny 1 second gap is you actively pulling your awareness out of the frantic matrix of layer 3 and anchoring it into this steady wisdom of layer 4. It sounds remarkably small, but inside the quiet gap is where your actual freedom lives. And if you can widen this gap just a fraction more, you hit the final ultimate destination. Layer number 5, Anandamaya Kosha. The absolute core of your architecture is Anandamaya Kosha, or the bliss body. Do not confuse this with fleeting happiness or sensory pleasure. This is something infinitely deeper. This is the unshakable peace that exists before thought, before ego, before your labels, and before your past stories. Here is the grand paradox of human development. You cannot force, hustle, or build your way into this layer. You can only stop blocking it. Most high performers are so utterly consumed by internal noise, mental chatter, unprocessed emotions, and physical tension that the light of this inner core can never pierce through the surface. Silence isn't an empty void, it is the native language of your core. You touch this layer during rare moments of absolute presence, in deep flow states where time completely vanishes, or in moments of profound stillness. To clear the path to this, dedicate just 5 minutes a day to doing absolutely nothing. No meditation techniques, no breathing protocols, no mental agendas. Just sit and allow the outer layers to settle. When the water becomes perfectly still, the bottom becomes visible. So, the next time a pattern in your life refuses to change, your results, your focus, or your behavior, stop asking, "What am I doing wrong?" and start asking, "Which layer does this problem actually live in? And which layer am I trying to fix with?" Stop trying to solve a physical layer 1 crisis with superficial layer 3 thinking. Stop treating an energetic breakdown with forced willpower. Map your internal architecture. Understand your code. You're not a single broken machine trying to fix itself. You are a vast, beautifully complex geometric system. And the clarity you've been desperately searching for out there is already resting deeply inside you. You just have to go deep enough to find it. Good luck and have fun.